The octagon is heating up for a massive night of fights in Winnipeg, as UFC Fight Night 273 returns to Canada with a bang. Gilbert Burns is looking to defend his standing against the rising Mike Malott in a high-stakes welterweight main event that promises fireworks. We are breaking down every angle of the card to find you the best betting value and the biggest upsets on the schedule.
Never run out of battery again with the INIU portable charger, the slimmest 10,000 mAh power bank that keeps your devices charged on the go. Stay powered up wherever you go. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Big news from the light heavyweight division, where champion Carlos Ulberg is facing a major setback following his title-winning performance. After flooring Jiří Procházka with a spectacular knockout at UFC 327, it has been confirmed that Ulberg fought through a torn ACL. He has already undergone surgery, leaving the status of the 205-pound belt and his immediate future in total uncertainty. The injury update for Carlos Ulberg goes even deeper as reports reveal he suffered additional bone bruising and tibia damage by continuing to compete on the torn ligament. With the division left in a precarious spot, the speculation is already mounting on whether the UFC will strip the title or push for an interim championship fight. We are tracking all the latest developments on when the Black Jag might finally return to the cage. Back in Winnipeg, the spotlight is on the heavy-hitting Marcio Barbosa making his highly anticipated debut against Denis Buzukja on the undercard. With his incredible 94% finish rate and relentless aggression, this is one fighter you cannot afford to overlook this weekend. Make sure to stay locked in for all our live coverage, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell to never miss an update on the fastest-growing sport in the world. Ever wonder what happens when a legend hits the wall? This Saturday, the UFC returns to Winnipeg for the first time in 8 long years, and the main event at the Canada Life Centre tells a story of desperation versus destiny. It is Gilbert Burns versus Mike Malott, and honestly, the stakes have never been higher for Rinho. Let's start with the narrative that's keeping me up. Gilbert Burns is on a 4-fight losing streak. But before you write him off, look at who he's been fighting: Mohamed, Della Madonna, Brady, and Morales. That is a gauntlet of killers, not a list of easy outs. Matchmakers have been brutal to him. Now he's facing Malott, a hungry Canadian looking to break into the big leagues. If Burns can't find a way to dictate the pace here, we might be watching the final chapter of a Hall of Fame career. My take. Don't be surprised if this goes the distance and lands in the judges' laps. Moving over to the co-main, Charles Jourdain is looking to break his own curse. Can you believe this guy has never won 3 in a row in 7 years with the promotion? He's facing Kyler Phillips, who is essentially a Rubik's Cube of a fighter. Phillips is on a skid, desperate to prove he belongs, and this has all the makings of a classic trap fight for the hometown hero. Then there's Thiago Moises. He's been trapped in an agonizing cycle of win-loss for 5 fights. He's taking on Gage Young, and while Moises has the pedigree, his inconsistency is a gambler's nightmare. But keep your eyes on the lightweight feature, Alex Nallo. This kid is an absolute finisher, 14 wins, 14 finishes. He's the kind of action hero fighter the UFC loves to push, and he's drawing Jai Herbert, who frankly has a track record of being stopped. Finally, the newcomer to watch is Barbosa. He's a walking highlight reel with a 94% finish rate, and he's drawing Denis Buzukja, who hasn't stepped into the octagon in over 600 days. Rust is a real thing, and against a striker like Barbosa, that's a dangerous game to play. This card is a roller coaster, and if you're looking to find value, you have to look past the hype. What are you picking for the main event? Drop a comment below and let's argue about the odds. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the fight game. Because in the UFC, nothing is ever as simple as it looks on paper. What does it take to become a champion? For Carlos Black Jag Ulberg, it apparently takes pure grit, a knockout punch, and fighting through a shredded knee. We just got official confirmation that the new UFC light heavyweight kingpin underwent surgery this past Thursday to repair a torn ACL, a devastating injury he sustained during his improbable main event victory over Jiří Procházka at UFC 327. Think about that for a second. He didn't just survive. He found that chin-shattering hook while his knee was essentially falling apart. According to his manager Ash Belcastro, the surgery went well, but it wasn't just the ACL. The fight caused significant bone bruising and tibia damage, which is a brutal reminder of the physical toll these elite warriors pay for gold. The big question now, of course, is what happens to that shiny new belt sitting in his living room. Will the UFC give him time to heal, or are we looking at an interim title fight in the near future? With sharks like Magomed Ankalaev and a hungry Paulo Costa circling the 205-pound division, the pressure is on. I want to hear your take. Should the UFC wait for the champ, or is it time to move on and crown an interim king? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this update, hit that like button and subscribe for more fight game insights. At the end of the day, champions aren't just defined by the wins on their record, but by how they handle the moments when their bodies finally decide to quit. Imagine winning the greatest prize in combat sports, only to realize your body has literally snapped under the pressure. That is the brutal reality for new UFC light heavyweight champion Carlos Ulberg. After a stunning, lights-out performance against Jiri Prochazka at UFC 327, the man they call Black Jag has been forced under the knife. Reports have now confirmed what many of us suspected while watching. Ulberg suffered a full ACL tear during the fight. His manager, Ash Belcastro, put it bluntly by saying he flat-out snapped it. The surgery is done, and while the doctors are optimistic, the road ahead is anything but certain. What makes this story even wilder is that Ulberg likely made the injury significantly worse by refusing to stop. He didn't give the referee or the ringside doctors a single second to intervene, ending the fight in under 4 minutes. It is a legendary display of toughness, but it leaves the light heavyweight division in a familiar, frustrating limbo. We've seen this movie before. Jiri Prochazka knows all too well how a vacant belt and a long-term injury can disrupt a career. With the division already reeling from the chaos left in the wake of Alex Pereira's move to heavyweight, the wait for our new champ to recover is going to feel like an eternity. Will the division stall, or will we see an interim title race fill the void? Let me know your take in the comments below. If you want to stay on top of the latest fight updates, smash that like button and subscribe for more. Sometimes, the most dangerous opponent in the cage isn't the guy standing across from you, it's your own body. Winnipeg is set to explode this Saturday as the UFC takes over the Canada Life Centre, and the main event is a classic collision of momentum versus legacy. In one corner, Canada's own Mike Malott is looking to prove he belongs in the elite 170-pound rankings, while the legendary Gilbert Burns is fighting to stop a 4-fight skid and keep his status as a top contender. Make no mistake, this is a career-defining moment for Malott. He enters as a 3-1 favorite, but betting on MMA math in the cage is a dangerous game. Sure, Malott has been a favorite in every UFC appearance, but Gilbert Burns is a battle-hardened veteran who has faced the absolute best the division has to offer. Can the Canadian prospect handle the pressure of the main event, or will the seasoned Brazilian remind us why he was once a title challenger? Beyond the headliner, the card is stacked with Canadian talent, including Charles Jourdain, Tanner Boser, and Jasmine Jasudavicius, all looking to secure big wins on home soil. Our resident experts are split. Some are hunting value in the underdog slots, while others are riding the favorites to secure the win. Whether you're following the experts' cage locks or looking for a long-shot dart throw, this card is packed with potential. Catch all the action starting at 6 p.m. ET on Sportsnet 360 and Sportsnet Plus. Remember, gamble responsibly, and tell us in the comments, is Malott ready for the big leagues, or does Burns have one more vintage performance left in him?